Yeah, so I actually got one of my friends told me that Charlie Kirk was going to be on the campus this Wednesday. This was 7 days ago, so a week ago. And I said, "Oh, I've got some questions for him. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to debate Charlie in good faith." I align a lot with what Charlie has to say. However, I have a few topics that I disagree on, and I was really looking forward to having a conversation with him. Thought it would be a very cordial conversation. Charlie Kirk talks about gang violence, and right as he finished that, he was shot in the neck. I was about 50 feet away. Again, I was more focused on wedging my way through the crowd to speak to Charlie than actually what was going on. And I did, for a brief second, see Charlie's head like slump over, and then the crowd just pushed back. It was a stampede. It was a mix of both people running, people ducking, people jumping into the fountain and running for their lives. So, but at that point, I understood that this was a targeted political assassination, and that's why I decided to stick around and pull out my phone because there were no other shots after that first one. This situation, people definitely feared for their lives. I could see it in their eyes. I could hear it in their voices. People were crying. People were screaming. Um, it was. It was a nightmare. The sounds that I heard, it was a plethora of individuals screaming. Some people immediately started crying. Some people were praying. Yeah, the prayer was just praying for Charlie Kirk and praying for his family, praying that he would be okay. Of course, that's what we default to. The prayer in my heart and the prayer that I've already prayed is I'm praying that people will actually speak up, people will get more active, because whether on the right or the left, yes, we have a disagreement of opinion and on views, but once we become violent, that's when society, the fabric of society starts to decay, and we can't get to that point. Doesn't feel like this is real. Given the magnitude that Charlie brings, um, given how he has shaped American politics, it's seeing him and then seeing him be shot. It doesn't feel real. This feels like a Butler, Pennsylvania type of incident. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a volunteer firefighter. As incidences come through, we have an app that everybody has access to, and we respond as we're available. And I've seen traumatizing events. I've come across individuals that have succumbed to their injuries with car accidents. This is very different considering it's a political assassination. It's one thing if it was a car accident where it's a misfortune. However, seeing a political assassination is a little bit more traumatizing than some would expect. Seeing any death can be traumatizing. It can be shocking, coming across anybody, whether it's a car accident or what have you. But given that this was a premeditated political assassination with the individual, Charlie Kirk, there's a lot more. There's a lot more behind that than somebody who succumbs to their injuries in a car accident. Um, Not saying that it's more important or whatnot, but there's just given his career, given my following of Charlie Kirk since Trump came down the escalator in 2015. I've watched his podcast, I've listened to him, I followed him, I've followed his Turning Point USA events. And to be going up to ask him a question at my first Turning Point USA event and witness a political assassination, it's a lot heavier, I would say, because it's premeditated.